Hello YouTubers, LA here from Kingdom Knowledge, here to do the second part of the Judgment of Love series based on Charles Mills' article titled Judgment of Love, which is in the Signs of the Times. And the first video was based on the Judge, the first section of the article entitled The Judge, which Charles describes how he learned who was the actual judge and who will actually be doing the judging, and what Jesus' role was when he was here on earth and what his role is. And now we are going to read the section about Out on the Limb. This is part 2, and it's about the section of the article entitled Out on a Limb. So let's move to that section, part of the article. And it says, there's a children's song that says, Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. Zacchaeus was small both in stature and in character. As a chief tax collector, he went among forcing his fellow countrymen to pay taxes to the despised Romans, who had forcibly occupied their land. What's worse, he often collected more than was necessary and pocketed the difference, which made him a very wealthy man. It's no wonder the Jewish people despised him. This story is recorded in Luke 19, verses 1 through 10. However, one day Zacchaeus was in Jericho when he heard that Jesus, the famous rabbi who healed the sick, was passing through. Zacchaeus decided that he wanted to see this popular stranger. However, being a wee little man standing in a curious crowd afforded him a perfect view of only backs and bellies. Never letting his lack of height interfere with his tall plans, he looked around for a solution and found it towering nearby. Sycamore or fig trees dotted the landscape, and just down the road was a wonderful specimen, complete with sturdy branches and enough leaves he could hide behind. Along came the master teacher, surrounded by attentive disciples, a group of recently healed sick people, a gaggle of questioning admirers, and even a few hecklers. Zacchaeus smiled inwardly. He found the best seat in the house. However, he was horrified when reaching the tree. Jesus suddenly stopped and looked up at him. I smiled as I read this part of the story. Now, Zacchaeus is going to get it. So Charles was thinking that Zacchaeus, the thieving taxpayer, was really going to get what he deserved now, because he's coming face to face with the one righteous person on earth, Jesus Christ. But let's see what happens. That crook has come face to face with the God of the universe. Stand back, everyone. Slowly, with a smile spreading across his rugged, sun-tanned face, Jesus said, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. Luke 19:5. I wish I could have been there to see what happened next. Stunned, the short man quickly made the journey from his tree limb to the ground. You want to come to my house? He asked. Jesus nodded. This way, Zacchaeus stammered, pointing down the road. Just follow me. Later, after Zacchaeus and Jesus had spent some time together, an incredible thing happened to the little man. He grew up, not in height, but in character. Lord, he announced, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. Verse 8. Zacchaeus, the crooked tax collector, had met Jesus, the judge, face to face. Now, I think this was written not quite the way he possibly meant it, because based on the previous section, Jesus is not the actual judge. Jesus came to save the world, to be an example, and preach the gospel. His point is, Jesus, the righteous, one righteous man, what did he do when he confronted Zacchaeus? He said, and what was Jesus' sentence? Invite me to your home. So Jesus wanted to go sit with Zacchaeus, let Zacchaeus have an opportunity to spend some time with him so that he could see the light in Jesus and Jesus as an example, and that Jesus is a forgiving Savior and compassionate and had no respect of person, not even when it came to a thief and tax collector. All right, so that's part 2. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, your perspective. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace and love.